Are we live? Hello, hello, hello. I think we're live now, but I'm gonna wait for everyone to gather into the room. But I think we're live. Hopefully you can all hear me all right. So, yep. Just gonna wait a little bit, let everybody kind of trickle into the room. Happy weekend to all of you. Happy Sunday or Monday, wherever you are. And hope you've had a good weekend. Hope everyone's doing well. Just doing a little live stream for you all. Just gonna let everybody come on in, and then I'll start to get down to what we're gonna talk about today. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm having a little drink with myself, a little warm drink. Hope you all just relax, and this is gonna be chill as always. So come on in, grab a snack, grab a drink, and just enjoy as we talk about this stuff. Yeah, lots to few things to unpack here. I didn't really have like a week ago. I didn't really have that much planned, but now this news has come out, so it's kind of funny that way that it works out. And yeah, it seems like we have more news each month, which is a good thing, I guess. So lots of things happening. Good time for Godzilla, Monsterverse, Kaiju fans. So yeah, very exciting. Yeah, I think the last live stream I did was pretty much right after the Apple TV Plus news about the new Monsterverse Apple TV Plus. It's not easy to say Apple TV Plus. The new Monsterverse show. That was like the last time I did a live stream, and that's what you all voted on for the next fan trailer. Is going to be that. So working on that. That'll be coming out hopefully soon in the future. I know sometimes the fan trailers can take some time, but I like to take my time with them and make them good. I don't want to just put out stuff that I don't think is of good quality. At the same time, I don't want to take forever to make them either. So it's finding that right balance. So, because I want to make great content for you guys, and I want you all to have like a fan trailer that you voted on, that you wanted, right? That's, you know, it's like your fan trailer. You as a community, you either give me the request, or maybe sometimes I'll throw in a request just for fun, but you all vote on it. You kind of decide. So it's like your fan trailer that you wanted, right? That's how I feel. So I want to give you all something of good quality. So, but anyway, that fan trailer will be hopefully coming soon, and I'll keep you all hopefully updated on it. And yeah, so yeah, just more news each month, it seems, which is very exciting. Very exciting. So anyway, I usually like to wait a few minutes before getting started on the streams. I know some people, they might just be logging into YouTube and they might see I'm live, so they may want to jump in. So hope you all don't mind. I'm having a little drink while we're live. So hope you're all doing well. All right, it's been a few minutes, so I think I'll get started. You know, everybody who jumps in later on the stream, that's cool. Hey, you know, welcome to the stream. And to everyone who's watching this on YouTube, I know this intro is probably not very interesting. Hopefully this will get more interesting as I start talking about this stuff, but thank you for watching this on YouTube after the stream, and hopefully you'll make it to the next one. I'm trying to do these streams more consistently. I'm trying to get better at them, so hopefully this is something I can get more consistent at, and more of you can join the streams and hang out with me and hang out with us. So anyway, I think I'm gonna get started then. So The main thing today that we'll be talking about is kind of the new, really from Japan, and kind of the new giant monster film projects that are going on over there, and just discussing like stuff that's coming up, stuff that's been announced. Like, there's been some news recently in the past, like almost the last week, basically. Some of this stuff is just a few days old, and so I'll just be giving my opinion on it. And yeah, I mean, there's multiple sources on this stuff. You know, I think sometimes the news tries to tell you a certain story. So I always just kind of, I'm always a little more skeptical when it comes to stuff like this. Like, I don't really much care for rumors. I want stuff that's like hard confirmations. So, but anyway, I mean, we'll be looking at this stuff, and these are pretty trustworthy sources that we're looking at. So anyway, so the first big thing is that Toho might be working on a new project right now. Of course, they've got Godzilla in there, but so far this has not been confirmed to be a Godzilla project, but it is apparently confirmed it is some kind of kaiju film. This actually comes from the Kaiju news outlet, but this is comicbook.com reposting it. Kaiju news outlet is also a great source. They post some pretty accurate stuff, and they're just a good resource if you need news. So yeah, if you want to go check them out on Twitter or Instagram, yeah, they've got some pretty good stuff. I think it's a good account. Anyway, so apparently the news is that there's a new kaiju film under development at Toho, and they made a casting call on their official Godzilla Plus app for a new kaiju film, and it's being directed by Takashi Yamazaki, who I'll talk about in just a second. And apparently they're going to start filming next month, and it will be set from 1945 to 1947 in Japan, like right after World War II. Now that's according to Kaiju news outlet Japan, which I wonder what the Twitter, if you can see the actual tweet from them. I don't know what it shows. But there's a lot to unpack here, but it's very short, right? So if you know who, some of you may already know who Takashi Yamazaki is, but if you don't, he did that film like Always Sunny or Always on 3rd Street or something like that, which had that like CGI Godzilla, 3D like CGI Godzilla model, and for Godzilla 2014 and years before Shin Godzilla, but at the time it was really awesome. So he apparently is a huge Godzilla fan. So, you know, that's already kind of a big flag that this could be something Godzilla related. Let's see. Not really much more information from Kaiju news outlet themselves. So, yeah. So I definitely think that there's probably more information that we'll get later, but this is apparently what we know right now. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty crazy. So this is what we know. It's a new kaiju film. Apparently they didn't need extras. The one main red flag that this is a new Godzilla film is that they use, right, and then it's coming from this director. So those are kind of the two big red flags. Also, it's from Toho. So like three red flags to say this could be a new Godzilla film. Again, nothing is officially confirmed in that sense. This is all we know. It could be anything. It could be a new original kaiju film. It could be a remake of a classic Toho kaiju. It could be many things. It might not even be a kaiju film. Maybe it just has a sequence with kaiju in it. We don't really know yet. However, things are kind of pointing that it could be a new kaiju film. Maybe. We don't really know yet. And a new Godzilla film, maybe, right? A big maybe there, but I think that it's one that is interesting. It's one that a lot of kaiju fans are kind of thinking about, talking about. So, I don't know, in my opinion, I want to see a little bit more before I begin to believe that it could be a new Godzilla film? You know, like, would that be awesome to see Toho bring Godzilla back, do their version of Godzilla? I think that would be amazing. Godzilla, love it or hate it, it is always really cool when Toho does their own take on Godzilla versus like legendaries. And especially since, to be fair, at this point we don't know exactly when we'll see another film with Godzilla in the Monsterverse. We have a show, but in the Monsterverse, you know, in that time while we're waiting for a new Godzilla film from Legendary, it would be cool to have something from Toho's side, right? So, you know, um, find, oh, always Sunset on 3rd Street is what it's called. So, yes, I don't know where it is. Well, it's being kind of slow, but if you've seen it, you've seen it. Let me just find it. There we go. Yeah, I mean at the time, huge. This dream sequence. I think it's like a dream sequence. I haven't seen the full film, but the clip is online. I mean, yeah, this Godzilla. They even made like a maquette for it. So they made like a whole puppet for it and everything. And then apparently, this is a good one to bring up. He also directed the ride. So the recent Godzilla ride that came out, what, a few, like last year, with like you're on like a little car and there's Godzilla and King Ghidorah fighting. He also directed that as well. So now let's say it is. Like, let's say maybe this is something like a Godzilla film set in the 1940s, right after World War II or something. You know, more than likely, I think this could be an origin Godzilla film or like a prequel Godzilla film, which I think would be awesome. I think it's something I've always kind of wanted to see is a different take on Godzilla's origins, and also a period piece set like before 1954. I think that's what it could be. If that's, maybe that would be one way to do it. Like it's a prequel to Godzilla 1954, and maybe it shows someone or a group of people finding Godzilla, or maybe Godzilla before he gets mutated by the bomb, or even awakened, depending on kind of the origin you want to follow. But I think it could be really cool, and I just want to see a period piece Godzilla film as well, because we don't really get any of those. Like, I thought Kong Skull Island was awesome because it was set in the 70s. That was so cool. It had like that Vietnam War music and soundtrack, and it had the, you know, that whole era setting was really cool, and that was really well done. And so I'd love to see something like that if that's what this is. Again, we don't have anything official, but if that's what this is, this could be something awesome. It would be something cool while we wait for Legendary to bring Godzilla back to theaters. So we have something else to look forward to. And yeah, but for now, we don't know that much except this casting call. And we don't have much more information on it. So I would say, you know, take it all with a grain of salt. I wouldn't get too hyped about this until we get something more official from Toho telling us what it actually is, in my opinion. But still, a new Kaiju project from Toho, it could be good. It could be pretty good. So I think that whatever it is, even if it's not Godzilla related, maybe it might still end up being a cool giant monster movie, and that's always something I'm looking forward to. So I can't complain too much. So yeah, on that, I don't really know much more else to say. But I did want to talk about the other big monster movie news coming out of Japan, which is this whole Shin Universe. Some are calling it Hideaki Anno's version of the Marvel Universe, maybe. But yeah, so it's been announced a collaboration between Toho Tsuburaya, who owns it, Toei, and whoever owns Neon Genesis Evangelion. Oh, Hideaki Studio. So they're doing a whole Shin Japan Heroes universe, which is like a big project for the new Shin Godzilla. Sorry, it's a big project for Shin Godzilla and the new Shin Ultraman and the new Shin Kamen Rider. And of course, Hideaki Anno is the creator of NGE, but he also is directing new versions of these, and he directed this. So because of that, they're all kind of combined under his vision, I guess, so to speak. So for that reason, they're doing this big project. Now, at this point, there's no real more information. This is also something pretty interesting, and we don't have that much more information on it as of now. But I will say that, like, you know, we had something very, very similar with Shin Godzilla when it first came out with Shin Godzilla versus like Evangelion, if you remember, and there was a whole like marketing merchandise crossover. There was a ride, like a 4D ride at Universal Japan, I believe it was, where they had like Shin Godzilla and the Evas fighting, and then like Shin Ghidorah showed up, and then they fight Shin Ghidorah. And it was a whole like 4D ride experience thing, so that was really cool. And so I have a feeling that they're very similar here in what they're doing. And they're always kind of doing cross promotions with Shin Godzilla and other stuff. So I think it's pretty interesting. Now, in terms of like what we'll actually get out of it, besides merchandise and besides a ride, that I don't know, because, you know, there are many possibilities here. But I think for one, like, we'd have to see how Shin Ultraman does. You know, if Shin Ultraman maybe is a big success like Shin Godzilla was, then maybe, yeah, it could lead up to maybe a crossover between, like a crossover film between Shin Godzilla and Shin Ultraman, maybe. But we also have to see how Shin Kamen Rider does, and we'll have to see if maybe that's the direction they're even interested in going. So we'll have to see, you know, but it could be something interesting. But at this point, we don't know enough, and I'm not sure that's what actually is being announced here. Now, some are saying, yeah, maybe they're gonna do like a Shinverse and do like a Monsterverse, but with all these characters. Others are saying it's more just a marketing campaign for all these films because Hideaki Anno is working on them. Again, we might just need to wait till Ultraman comes out, and also till like Shin Kamen Rider comes out, and then we get more information on what they're actually going to be working on. I think that, like, it's really cool idea. I like this whole marketing promotional stuff, and like the last time we got some cool collectibles. We got some cool like figures with like different repaints and stuff. We got like a Neon Genesis Evangelion Mechagodzilla figure that was really interesting. We got like all these new SH Monster Arts figures with like different repaints and stuff. They did some cool creative stuff with it. However, I think aside from like marketing and merchandise, I don't know how well these would actually blend together as like one crossover film. I think the only two that would really work is Shin Godzilla and Shin Ultraman. I don't know how Shin Kamen Rider could fit, and obviously I think NGE is kind of, some people really love that series. I'm a bit more mixed on it, but like I don't know how well it would work within this universe, and also it's animated, and it's like its own different universe, and it's animated too, so like how would you have a crossover film unless you did like a live action Evangelion movie or something like that, and then it ties into Shin Ultraman and Shin Godzilla and Shin Kamen Rider? Like, I don't really know how you would do it. So I think in terms of a movie coming out of this, that like a crossover film between these characters, I'm not really sure at this point. And I think that maybe the most likely is like a Shin Ultraman versus Shin Godzilla, which is a lot. As soon as Shin Ultraman got announced, a lot of people already started saying we need to have Shin Godzilla fight Shin Ultraman. And while I think maybe, you know, Toho might find that like really an interesting avenue to go down, I don't know how it would work so well story-wise. It could, I mean, we'll see. Maybe Shin Ultraman does have hints that it's in the same universe as Shin Godzilla, and it's just set a few years later. And maybe that's what they're doing. And maybe Shin Kamen Rider also is part of that, right? But again, at this point, we know nothing, right? And more information will come later. So, hey, Jeffrey. Hey, hello, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. So, I don't know. At this point, we have a lot of information of stuff that's coming up, but we don't have any details. So it's a bit tough to really say much more than just speculate. Could they do Shin Ultraman versus Shin Godzilla? Let's see it. I think it would be pretty cool to see Shin Ultraman versus Shin Godzilla. I think you could make it work. I think, both are gonna have a similar style, and you can easily just pick it up where, like, Shin Godzilla wakes up from being frozen, and then Shin Ultraman, and maybe Shin Godzilla could become more mutated and more powerful. Jeffrey says they're Mothra dragon. Okay, fair enough. So like maybe Shin Godzilla could become more mutated and more powerful, like originally planned, where like Shin Godzilla was going to have a fifth form and evolve and then become God or something like that, kind of. So maybe Shin Ultraman has to stop that from happening. Maybe they could even bring Shin Ghidorah, like in the ride. And then maybe Kamen Rider's also there in the background. I don't know how much he can really do, but maybe he's got some weapons or abilities or something that can stop Shin Godzilla or Shin Ghidorah. There's some ideas they could go with it, and I think as a making, I think I read a comment today talking about this stuff and the other news too that was like, I want more movies, but I don't want movies for the sake of movies, and I absolutely agree. I don't want what Toho did in the Millennium Era, where they just kept spitting out a movie every year for the sake of just making Godzilla films. Like, if they're gonna do them, just do something good that can kind of like not match. Like, this stuff just didn't really fill in the gap while I waited for King of the Monsters. Whereas like stuff like Singular Point or Shin Godzilla. Shin Godzilla was great because it really helped to fill in the gap while we waited, for King of the Monsters. And of course, Kong Skull Island came right after, so it was really cool. That 2016 in that sense was really cool. But in my opinion, like I want good films, not mediocre films while we're waiting for Legendary. I'd rather get actually well-made monster movies coming out of them. So anyway, at this point, look, I'm just rambling, I'm just speculating, and then the thing is, like, is this other project, of this new kaiju film, has this anything to do with the Shinverse, right? At this point, we don't really know. There is a cool image, though. I mean, the image they use is really cool. I do like that. And like I said, they could do something with like artwork, they could do something with comics, or maybe even a video game or something like that. That could be cool, or an animated series or something like that. But like in terms of a live action film, I don't really know how that would work. And again, at this point, we don't even know that's what they're doing, right? This could all just be a marketing merchandise campaign with some figures, with some collectibles, with another 4D ride type thing. We don't really know that much about it at this point. I wish I could say more, but this is kind of all we have. So yeah. No, but I do think it's interesting. I think it's cool. I think it's good that Toho seems to want to continue to do something while Legendary is making content. They must know more than we do when Legendary is going to put out their next like Godzilla film. So Toho knows they need to kind of use this time wisely, I think, and put something out there. I don't know that it's going to be something that we'll see very soon, but if they are filming already that other kaiju film, whatever it is, it probably won't take that long for it to come out. And then this whole project, well, I'm sure we'll learn more about it once Shin Ultraman comes out and Shin Kamen Rider comes out next year, early next year, I think. So this stuff will come out very, very soon, I'm sure, in terms of like more information. We may learn more this summer or at like Tokyo Comic Con for sure. We'll learn more. But I think if they're already filming that kaiju film, in a few months we'll definitely already have more information. We might have a teaser and everything. Like I said, Shin Ultraman comes out in like 3 months. So for sure, if it is related to Shin Godzilla, we're gonna find out very, very soon. And yeah, any other news about it. So I think in that sense, exciting. It means that we're gonna see more giant monster content coming out of Japan. And for some of us, we're really excited about that because, sure, I enjoy the Monsterverse, I do, but it's also cool to see stuff that comes out of Toho about it that felt like the classic Toho Godzilla that I grew up with, right? So, that I grew up with. So for me, I really enjoyed Shin Godzilla, right? Like hearing the classic Toho film hearing the classic Toho soundtracks, well, apparently the Godzilla vs. Kong figures did well enough that they want to continue with them. So there was a Mechagodzilla, I believe, that started out with, that was released with like a new box. I think it was the same figure, but with just new artwork. So and now the rest of the figures have been revealed. Actually, they were revealed a few weeks ago, and now Luminous has some higher quality photos. If you haven't subscribed to Luminous, they're always great. They're on top of the stuff, especially when it comes to the figures. Like as soon as the pictures come out, they're usually, or sometimes they're some of the first ones to put them out there. So Luminous, I always go to when it comes to the new figures, but they have now some high quality photos, so that would be cool to just go through them. I'm not going to play their video, but I might just, take a look at some of their pictures to show you my, tell you my thoughts on what I think of the new figures. But this was apparently from a London toy fair, and there's like a whole rack that has a bunch of the figures. And to be fair, most of them are just the exact same figures that have been revealed. But here they look at the new figures that were unveiled, and there's some better close-up images of them. So this is from a bottom rack, and apparently this is like a new Godzilla 2014 figure with some like battle damage and stuff, but he's not meltdown. Apparently it's supposed to match like the artwork from the Godzilla 2014 poster or something like that. Is apparently what that's pretty cool. Then there's, I think, Ocean Battle Godzilla. I think that one may have been re-released. Same with this Kong. But what is cool is a new, like, Kong Skull Island Kong, if that makes sense. Like Kong from Skull Island, it even says so. And he comes with his like the propeller. That he throws it at the propeller. So he comes with that. Now, funny enough, this Kong here is not to scale, because this Kong from Godzilla vs. Kong is way bigger, but they're toys, okay? They have to kind of do what they have to do the best they can. In reality, Kong should be a lot smaller here. He should be like a lot smaller than this version, but it is what it is. But still, that's such a great sequence in Skull Island that he has the propeller and he throws it at the Skullcrawler, and I really enjoy that film. But really the big news, obviously, is the new King Ghidorah, right? So Playmates is putting out a new King Ghidorah. I wonder if there's a part where they looked more closely at the new King Ghidorah. Yeah, I think that's really cool, and I don't know that really anyone else is doing King Ghidorah, right? Because we've had like NECA didn't make a new King Ghidorah. Then we had Bandai Movie Monsters, and we had Bandai SH Monster Arts, but we haven't really had anyone else do it except Jack Pacific did one as well. So we haven't had a 2019 King Ghidorah figure come out since like 2019, so this is really exciting, and I think that's really cool. It is a 6-inch figure. I personally was more looking for like an 11-inch figure or bigger, but it seems to be a new sculpt as well, so that's really cool, and it has like battle damage and stuff. So really holding out hope that we get an 11-inch figure, maybe, because I want a bigger Ghidorah figure, I think. And then the other unveil was like a whole new shelf with what they called Toho series. So this will be the non-Monsterverse figures. So they have, really the big thing is, of course, most of these are their first line of figures they created, that were released, that if you see my video on them, I gave Playmates Toys a really hard time for this. I was quite critical. Well, we all were. Some of that first wave was pretty not so great. So those are some of those figures. They have kind of redeemed themselves. Remember that Shin Godzilla that was not awesome? They redid it, and that Shin Godzilla looks a lot better. I mean, it's still not perfect, but it's a lot better than the first Shin Godzilla they put out. They also have the Godzilla from the Singular Point in his, what is this, his third form, I want to say. And I forget exactly what it's called, but it's still pretty cool. This nice Toho series thing. Oh, he's called Godzilla Terrestris. I guess that's like the third form. And then there's Godzilla 2016, Shin Godzilla. and then there's Rodan. But I really like the box art quite a bit. It's quite nice. Again, Godzilla Ultima, but I'm betting he's coming soon because it doesn't really make any sense to do Godzilla Terrestris and not do Ultima. Um, but yeah, so pretty cool. I think some pretty nice figures, and I think Playmates has really better than we expected. And I mean, I have like the Kong smashing figure with lights and stuff. They have a ton of figures in different forms. The thing is that obviously at this point, in terms of like outside of Japan, you know, Playmates is the only one I think with really a license, if you don't count Funko Pop, because Jakks Pacific doesn't have a license. Bandai Creation is not making any figures, I think, and NECA is not making any figures either. There's other stuff. There's the Mezco figures, but those are more in terms of like figures more aimed at kids. In terms of collectibles, there's still the Mezco figures. There's other figures out there, but those are there's some other figures coming out as well. But in terms of like the main figures meant for kids that you'll find at your local store, Playmates is the only one that's really putting out anything besides Bandai Japan and Bandai SH Monster Arts. And we're not getting any more NECA figures. So this is kind of the only one we have. So in that way, good that they look, you know, pretty quality because this is all we're getting, right? Oh, sorry, apologies. I guess my stream uh, disconnected. So I don't know. It says it disconnected. Well, didn't even see it. Well, I'm just gonna keep going. So apologies if you're now just seeing this or something like that. Apparently my stream had some issues, so that's fine. Well, the last thing I want to talk about is if you didn't know, this year is the 50th anniversary of Godzilla vs. Gigan. So the Godzilla store in Japan or something like that. Well, the Godzilla channel had this live stream showing kind of the new figures, and I don't know if there's gonna be more unveiled, but this is kind of what they showed off, which is like these cool pins. I really love this. I guess this is like a wallet bag, and then of course a nice, cool looking Gigan like translucent figure, which is pretty. It loads. I guess my stream is having some problems, so apologies. Well, it doesn't seem to be loading very well, but like I do like this translucent Gigan figure, so I think that's pretty cool. And I do think overall, I think it's kind of cool they're doing this whole campaign, but I just wish there was more coming out. So yeah, I don't want to. Better pause. I don't want to get copyright strike. But anyway, I do think that this is pretty cool. It's a cool looking figure, but I just was hoping for a bit more, like I don't know, a new SH Monster Arch or something. I mean, they have already done, you know, the Final Wars Gigan. They did like a second version, but it would be cool to get something like all we have here is one Gigan figure, or one, and then this one. So it is a nice looking figure and all, and I like this translucent design, but I don't know. I think they also unveiled some shirts or something too, as well. They have the pins, but I saw somewhere they had a shirt. Yeah, they had like a shirt, which is cool. You know, like I said, I really like this design, but I just wanted something a little bit more. Yeah, so they got the new shirts that they came out with, so that's pretty cool. I think it's awesome that they're, you know, showing some appreciation and love for Gigan, but I would have expected a little bit more than just a plushie, a figure, some pins, and some shirts. Because I think Hedra got like a new Bandai Movie Monsters. You got like an SH Monster Arts figure. You got a bunch of plushies, and they went all out. Not as exciting as I thought it would be, to be fair. And Gigan is like one of my favorite of the Godzilla villains. So I'd love to see something a bit more for Gigan and his 50th anniversary, right? I mean, he's one of my favorite Godzilla villains. So I don't know. I just want a little bit more. It's cool though. I mean, it is cool. I'm glad we're getting some news. I don't know when it comes out. I think this is the 20th of February, if anyone speaks Japanese and can understand it. But yeah, so still though, really cool. Yeah, someone already says, I spent 2.5 hours with the most rampant SH Monster news yet. All we got was 2 things. I'd maybe buy no SH, yeah. So, Gigan, barely into Gigan. Yeah, so I agree. Like, I would like to see more stuff for Gigan because again, it feels like Hedra got a ton of stuff. And no offense, Hedra is Hedra more popular than Gigan? I don't know. I feel like Gigan should be probably more popular. He's been in like at least 3 Godzilla films. So was Hedra in Final Wars. But come on, Hedra had like no screen time in Final Wars compared to Gigan. Gigan was like one of the main villains of that film. And then Gigan showed up in Godzilla vs. Megalon, Godzilla vs. Gigan, obviously. So, I mean, he's shown up 3 times. He's like a bunch of media outside of it. He's on all the games. He was almost in King of the Monsters, actually. Gigan was almost in King of the Monsters. He was going to be, I think they even came up with concept art for him. He was almost going to be at the end of the film, showing up like bowing to Godzilla as one of the Titans. So, I don't know. I think there's more they could do with Gigan because he definitely is... again, one of my favorites, one of the most famous Godzilla villains out there, with like Mechagodzilla and King Ghidorah and Space Godzilla destroy a Biollante, and then there's Gigan. Gigan's one of the most famous. I mean, some people think he looks like a space chicken or something like that, but he's one of my favorites. So, kind of hoping we get more from Gigan at this for the 50th anniversary. I don't even know when it is. I guess it's the 20th of February or something like that. Oh, that's today. I didn't think about that. Sorry, I'm a little silly when I'm live streaming. Come out? Well, okay. No, exactly. Like, disappointed there's no Gigan. Okay, well then we'll have to wait and see. So, I think in terms of the Gigan news, a little disappointing, but maybe there'll be more coming. And maybe they'll do something bigger for Gigan, and maybe there'll be more announcements. Maybe the figures just aren't ready yet, and there'll be more announcements later. This is just more of a preliminary, right? The first set of figures they're gonna make, and then later on they'll do more. Hopefully, yeah. It would be cool. Again, I could see an SH Monster Arts, Gigan 72. I could see a Bandai Movie Monsters Gigan figure. Maybe even Playmates will do a Gigan figure. Who knows? I mean, I do have Final Wars Gigan, so I don't really need one. But, you know, you put out a good 1972 Gigan, I mean, that could be a nice figure. Bandai Creation made one. I actually used to have a Bandai Creation Bandai figure from back in the day. So I couldn't see the Playmates Toys wouldn't not want to do for their Toho Classic series, a Gigan 1972. I think that'd be a cool figure for them to do, so yeah. But anyway, we'll have to see. I'm sure there'll be more news about it very, very soon. So, well, anyway, thank you all to all who watched. Apologies, apparently there were problems with the stream, so I hope it didn't totally crash. Didn't even realize it did crash. So, hopefully, if you were watching and you couldn't chat, I'm really sorry. Hopefully everyone watching this on YouTube, it doesn't seem like a total mess. Sorry, I'm trying to get better at this, but I don't know what happened, my internet or something. The stream was having problems. So anyway, that's it for this stream. I think I've kind of said everything I needed to say. I hope you all enjoyed it. Some interesting news. I'm sure there'll be more news next month. Every month it seems to be something new, so I'll try and stream again at least next month, and hopefully it goes by a bit better. And I'll see you all there, and thank you all. Thank you to everyone who was watching the stream, and sorry if it wasn't working very well. And thank you to everyone who's watching this after the stream on YouTube. You know, I guess give it a like if you want to support the channel. And I'll see you guys